the one who does not look outward. The rules didn't change loudly. They weren't announced. They were rewritten through repetition, through shortened attention, through the slow replacement of the presence with performance. Technology didn't invent this fracture, but it learned how to accelerate it. It offered closeness without contact, connection without touch, and in that space, something essential thinned. Not because people stopped caring, but because contact itself became interrupted. An invisible barrier settled between us, one we never agreed to, one that reached into both meaningful relationships and brief encounters alike. Length stopped mattering. Numbers stopped mattering. What mattered was whether lives actually touched, whether minds and bodies were allowed to meet without fear. When contact is broken, the damage doesn't always move outward. Often, it turns inward. A displaced emotional construct forms where something once lived whole. A part of the self goes unattended, quietly set aside, not because it was weak, but because it didn't know how to survive the separation without help. This is where betrayal becomes difficult to name. Not, I was betrayed and therefore innocent, but something quieter and more honest. Something was broken between us, and I had to abandon a part of myself to survive it. Those we loved were not absent from this moment. They had a role, just as we did. No more, no less. Responsibility doesn't vanish simply because pain is shared. What followed was not failure, it was aftermath. Grief searching for shape, anger looking for orientation, blame moving sideways, then inward. People punishing themselves for reactions they never deserved to manage alone. Mistaking survival responses for personal defects. Visibility arrived without responsibility. Light arrived without warmth. Many accepted the exchange not because they were careless, but because they were never told what it would cost to live without touch, without grounding, without the quiet regulation that only real presence provides. And still, life continued. I continued, carrying what hadn't been named, examining what could be examined, returning to myself where I could. I made mistakes. I won't deny them, but I did not abandon the work. I didn't look away from what was mine to tend, even when it was uncomfortable, even when it offered no applause. What I no longer accept is endless self-punishment for lessons already learned. Growth asks a price. I paid it. I won't keep paying interest to narratives that no longer fit who I am becoming. What I want now is simple: to live without being made the vessel for what others refuse to face in themselves. I understand reflection. I understand projection. I know authenticity can stir unresolved places, but projection is not truth, and judgment without self-examination doesn't create order. It only relocates discomfort. I'm not perfect. I never needed to be. What matters is that I move toward coherence, toward balance, toward the places others hesitate to look, not to dramatize them, but to soften them. Fractures don't heal through denial. They ease when met with patience. I see now how modern civilization clings to brightness and noise, how it fears stillness more than darkness. I feel it in my eyes, in my nervous system, in the need to turn the lights off and let quiet return. It isn't darkness people fear. It's what appears when the lights soften and attention turns inward. Stories changed alongside us. Once carried whole, now broken into fragments, curated for speed, stripped of nourishment, meaning extracted instead of tended, power distributed without restraint. Many feel this without language for it, a quiet sense of being left behind in a world that confuses attention with care. What threatens us most isn't something external. It's neglect. The internal wars left unattended. The slow turning away from responsibility for one's own interior life. This is how balance erodes, not through catastrophe, but through countless small avoidances. My work moves differently. When it turns the lens, it does so slowly. It doesn't tear people open or trap them in their wounds. It allows the body to remain present. It lets the eyes adjust. It invites recognition without force and allows retreat without shame. If there is anything left to save, it won't be saved by spectacle or urgency. It will be carried by those who chose patience over performance, integrity over reach, and warmth where fear once lived. I am still here, breathing, listening, choosing balance where I can. I am the one who does not look outward, and that, for now, is enough.